festival this coming summer, and then a major borough-wide celebration in 2016. Now, we've often spoken about what we call the cultural entitlement for Thurrock, and in our schools now, I think almost half of our schools have signed up for that formal cultural entitlement, which will allow our youngest citizens to fully immerse themselves in the arts, actually performing, writing, creating. And that is, of course, really important. It just helps to broaden horizons and helps to raise aspiration and raise attainment across the piece. But it is time that we just looked at what we do about cultural entitlement for older people, especially as our relationship with the arts in Thurrock becomes ever more important. And I really think that these two events that we're looking at this evening can be the embodiment of that entitlement for our adults and also for school children too. They will give Thurrock people a real chance to enjoy and celebrate what's happening here, and they will give us all a chance to shout about Thurrock to the rest of the world. I think we all know that the potential for the creative sector in the borough is being transformed as partners work together to create new world-class cultural facilities together with a growing creative skills offer. A skills offer that was just capped last week with the announcement that the first ever National College for Creative and Cultural Industries will be located here in Purfleet at High House to open in September 2016. So I think it's really important that the Summer 2015 Festival should be created hand in hand with our community and should then lead to that larger festival at the Thames Estuary in 2016, put together with a web-based project to raise the profile, to support audience development, to support networking and support business support for the creative industries. Industries which are now thriving in Thurrock, and frankly we didn't know we had. Council is working with an organisation called Metal. For those who have never come across Metal, they have had some real successes in Southend, including this year's Village Green Festival, which attracted over 22,000 visitors. Now, one thing that this does, of course, mean is the end of Tea-Fest. But I have to say that Tea-Fest, when it started, was almost like an oasis in what was a pretty barren landscape. And I am really grateful to those who first developed Tea-Fest and for those who worked hard to deliver it year on year. But what this does is allows us to build on the successes of Tea-Fest over the last few years, but by bringing in Metal, we can also learn from the successes of the Village Green event as well. Now, preliminary discussions tell us that the Thurrock event this year could include a wide range of different stages, a world music and dance stage, a youth and even a literature stage, for example, plus performances by dance groups and musical theatre, family area, an artist-led marketplace, as well, of course, as the main performance stage. This report also highlights the tremendous heritage, both ancient and modern, that we have here in Thurrock. And the only question I guess I have is that when we look at it all in one document, we just have to ask why we haven't celebrated this earlier. Why haven't we celebrated it harder? But frankly, I think we have the opportunity this evening to agree that that's just what we're going to do.
Things we don't actually talk about enough. I've put that cultural improvement that we've had. I was at a meeting a few weeks ago when we were talking about the role that arts plays in public life. And apropos of nothing, not knowing that was at Thurrock Council, the first thing that someone brought up was the role that Thurrock has done in partnership with the High House Production Park. We are being recognised outside of this building and outside of this borough for the work that we're doing, and I think we need to talk about it a lot more and recognise a little bit more those kind of cultural trends we've got. I mean, I think, you know, you say even a literature festival, but you know, Daniel Defoe and Joseph Conrad are both kind of leading literary lights that made Thurrock their home. And I think there's another point about this, which is there's a thing that we talk about all the time and historically never seem to get anything done about, and that's the riverfront. And I'm really pleased that the river is the focus of this, because I've interminably sat in meetings and talked about how we use the river better, and we really are now. And finally, just quickly, I know in 3.9, the Village Green Festival, which is used as the kind of template for what we're going to be doing, and the strength of the community involvement in that festival. 80 community groups, 140 community volunteers, 500 artists, 30 schools. The organisation that we're talking about working with here has got a real track record in making this a genuinely large community event, and I think that's something that we all want to see from this kind of festival.
Richard, thank you.
And I think it builds on the cultural offer that we're trying to give to everyone in Borough, but in particular our young people. But what this does is goes across the age groups, which I think with Mr. Tripp really, and now we are incorporating both young people, old people, etc. And it's worth remembering just how many local organisations, clubs, etc. that we do have in Thurrock. They are absolutely brilliant. I know when I was escort or consort, whatever it is, as the mayor of the borough, I don't know what you now, what am I called?
Mayoress.
Oh, Mayoress, that's right, yes, thanks. Thanks for that, leader. The amount of talent that one sees in the borough when you're going around is just so astonishing, and it is astonishing to see such talent. So to bring that together in a festival once a year, I think will be absolutely brilliant.